New Song United Methodist Church Ministry. I am Reverend Misty Howick, and this is day 3 of this Lenten study, this Lenten devotional, and it is day 5 in Lent. I hope that it's going well for you. I hope that your whatever your Lenten practice is that it's strengthening you. It is providing you some opportunities for reflection. I am meditating 10 minutes a night, and it has been really great so far. It has helped me to relax a little bit, and it's also helping me to be aware of my thoughts, my feelings, and hopefully it will help me in the long run to be a little bit more productive and stay focused on things I need to. But it also brings me to God because it's kind of a prayerful thing as well. So today we're looking at chapter 3 of Proverbs. You can catch our first 2 chapters on Facebook or YouTube. They are saved there. It looks like I am having internet issues, so I'll tell you this. If it doesn't go well today, I will post 2 tomorrow, and we'll do chapter 3 and chapter 4. So we'll see how this goes, and if it doesn't go well with my internet, then we'll do 2 tomorrow. So chapter 3, today is going to be a little bit more of like a meditation. So we're going to listen to the Proverbs. I don't have a lot to add to the content on context to chapter 3 today. I will point out a couple of, again, reoccurring themes and reoccurring ideas that we started looking at in chapters 1 and 2. It is broken up into a couple of different sections. Some of them I'm just going to read right through, and others I'll just pause for. So join me as we read chapter 3 of Proverbs. So it begins, "My child, do not forget my teaching, but let your heart keep my commandments. For length of days and years of life and abundant welfare they will give you. Do not let loyalty and faithfulness forsake you. Bind them around your neck. Write them on the tablet of your heart, and then you will find favor and high regard in the sight of God and of people. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not rely on your own insight. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make straight your paths. Do not be wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord and turn away from evil. It will be a healing for your flesh and a refreshment for your body. Honor the Lord with your substance and with the first fruits of all your produce. And then your barns will be filled with plenty, and your vats will be bursting with wine. My child, do not despise the Lord's discipline or be weary of his reproof, for the Lord reproves the one he loves, as a father the son in whom he delights." All right, I'm going to pause there after verse 12 just to point out a couple of things. So one, we have this idea of loyalty and faithfulness being something that's so important that they need to be bound around our neck and written on the tablet of our heart. You will see this kind of phrasing and imagery a lot in this particular writing. You'll even see it later in this chapter, where it's important that we take all of this to heart and we kind of make it a part of our being, not just something that we do once. So that will be something that comes up again and again. And the other thing is everyone's probably really familiar with verse 5, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not rely on your own insight." I love this. And there's that addition of, if you do, then you will have healing of your flesh and a refreshment for your body. Now, I take that part very seriously. Some of these proverbs, I think, probably meant more in the context that they were written and for the people that they were written. This one, I think, applies to all of us. It's one of those things that if we rely too heavily on our own selves and our own understandings, we can start to feel the burden of carrying all of that, and also the burden of pride, right? Of, wow, we've done so good. And all of that honestly can weigh on you, and it can come out in your mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical health. And so when it says it will be a healing for your flesh and a refreshment for your body, that means it is so good to let go of all of those responsibilities and all of those things and just remind ourselves that God is in charge and not us. And in that way, it releases some of that stress from us, and it is a healing for us. So that's how I kind of interpret that, and I think it's still applicable today. Let's go ahead and keep reading with verse 13. Happy are those who find wisdom and those who get understanding, for her income is better than silver, and her revenue better than gold. She is more precious than jewels, and nothing you desire can compare with her. Long life is in her right hand, in her left hand are riches and honor. Her ways are ways of pleasantness, and all her paths are peace. She is a tree of life to those who lay hold of her. Those who hold her fast are called happy. So I'm going to pause again after verse 18. So once again, wisdom is again personified. She is a female, wisdom is female. And I really love that there's this common phrase that we hear, and there's even a song about it. You might have heard these words before. She is more precious than jewels, and nothing you desire can compare with her. Except for it's not about wisdom and it's not her. There is a song that it says God, or Jesus is more precious than silver, and better than gold, and nothing we desire can compare with you. It's all about Jesus and God. So it's interesting that this is one of the first ways that I believe wisdom starts to enter into the Trinity for us who have the New Testament to read and kind of follow, just because we can read so much into this particular, lifting up wisdom, that eventually, we have put wisdom in with the Trinity. So it's not something that the writer in the Old Testament was doing. It is something that we are pulling out and putting into the New Testament. Okay, God's wisdom in creation, verse 19. The Lord by wisdom founded the earth. By understanding he established the heavens. By his knowledge the deeps broke open and the clouds dropped down the dew. My child, do not let these escape from your sight. Keep sound wisdom and prudence, and they will be life for your soul, and adornment for your neck. And then you will walk on your way securely, and your foot will not stumble. If you sit down, you will not be afraid. When you lie down, your sleep will be sweet. And then you will not be afraid of sudden panic or the storm that strikes the wicked. For the Lord will be your confidence and will keep your foot from being caught. Do not withhold good from those to whom it is due. When it is your power to do it, do not say to your neighbor, go and come again. Tomorrow I will give it, when you have it with you. Do not plan harm against your neighbor who lives trustingly beside you. Do not quarrel with anyone without cause when no harm has been done to you. Do not envy the violent, and do not choose any of their ways. For the perverse are an abomination to the Lord, but the upright are in his confidence. The Lord's curse is on the house of the wicked, but he blesses the abode of the righteous. Toward the scorners he is scornful, but to the humble he shows favor. The wise will inherit honor, but stubborn fools disgrace. So that concludes chapter 3 of Proverbs. Just a quick note that in verses 21 through 26, it kind of echoes some of the Psalms. We're aware of the, even 23rd Psalm, the Lord will keep you, the Lord will not sleep, the Lord will is aware of your comings and goings. It all kind of echoes some of the Psalms in that. In verse 26, for the Lord will be your confidence and will keep your foot from being caught. I mean, we can almost hear the Psalms being read right there. And then again, we also see the idea of retribution, right? So if you do good, then good will be done to you. And we commented on that in the first 2 chapters, is that Proverbs is one of 3 books in the Bible that are considered wisdom literature in the Hebrew Bible. Proverbs, and then Ecclesiastes, and the book of Job. And Proverbs is really the only one that follows that tradition of, if you do good things, then God will repay you. If you do bad things, then God will punish you. And some would even say that the other books were written to actually comment on Proverbs, in saying that, okay, we take these words, this wisdom, and then we also recognize that maybe that's not how God works, and maybe this is how God works. So we'll go ahead and continue to see that theme in Proverbs, but we can go ahead and critique it, and we can question it, and we can, look at other biblical sources for different kinds of thought around if God punishes because you're bad, and what happens, why do bad things happen to good people, right? I think that's all that we have for today. I'm so glad you joined me. That was chapter 3. Hey, you're doing it. If you're following along with me, you're doing it. Day 3. Tomorrow we'll do day 4. And again, if the recording is bad on